Alright, guys, excuse a couple things. First thing, my mic, it's not going to sound super good. It's not super fancy, And I'm also sick right now, so it kind of stacks on each other to make it sound kind of terrible. Number two, excuse my gameplay. I've barely been playing Minecraft other than like when my friends invite me to play. And number three, excuse like the chunks not loading in because I don't know what the deal is. It should be able to use way more of my GPU, but it just decides not to, and I'm too lazy to figure that out. So you might ask yourself, what have you been doing the past couple months? Well, first, quite a long while, I have been able to record videos just because it had like a good frame rate on the recording. Like it's had like one frame every 5 seconds or something dumb like that. Second thing, I haven't been really motivated to make YouTube videos. And I've been playing other games. You might be like, well, what games have you been playing?
Dark Soul.
Heck you too. Heckin' furry,
But
bro.
why?
Frick you. Honestly, frick furries. Stop sending feet pics. Easy. Now, since you're probably wondering, I haven't really been doing anything but working and playing games, and now school recently. I should have more time to make videos around early October since I'll stop working by then. Alright, so since I have more footage than what I can talk about, I don't just want to leave it there, and I don't want to just post like a 1.5 minute video. I'm just gonna say stories. Now, I can only think of ones where I've almost gotten hurt, so I guess I'll just share those. The first one was that I used to mow these people's lawn, and so this there's this one spot where I had like an overhanging pine tree. Well, I guess it was multiple overhanging pine trees, but basically I had to angle myself weirdly to the lawnmower, so I had to like push it, and I was basically at the lawnmower side, and there was one time when I was mowing and I wasn't paying attention, and so my foot had slid like under the lawnmower, kind of like not completely, obviously, but it had clipped the edge of my shoe. I was wearing Crocs at the time, and I'd heard. I looked down. I was like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of interesting." And nothing came out of that situation other than that. Now, my second story is that. All right, so I work on a farm, and I was helping load boxes into the back of a truck, and so my boss was driving the truck, and my friend he was not loading, but he was putting the boxes onto the pallet, in a nice pattern so they would all fit onto it. And so I wasn't paying attention completely. I usually don't, and nothing usually happens. But this time, I was standing too close to the truck, and so all right, I'm wearing these crappy tennis shoes that I've had for a ton of years. Like, there's a giant hole in them. You might be like, well, why don't you get new shoes? That's a different story, which I'll probably tell later. But so what happened is that since my shoe was too close, my foot had gotten under the tire. Well, not my foot, but the tip of my shoe, like by a good solid like 2 inches, and somehow my feet were scrunched in really close to the back, and I'm really grateful for that because I looked down and I couldn't move my foot for a second. I was like, "Oh crap!" Again, nothing too crazy happened out the story. Although I did get a story. My boss was looking in the mirror and he's like, "I almost saw you get a heart attack," because like I'd gone and like slapped my chest. But I guess that's my second story about how I almost like broke my foot. And I guess now it's time to tell a story about why I have those crappy tennis shoes. All right, well, first reason, all right, last year around May or so, I got new shoes because they were kind of trash. Obviously, they weren't as trash. I think they had like smaller holes at the end of my toes, but I was like, hey, I should probably get new shoes. And my mom was like, oh, okay. And we went and we got new shoes. But so I just kept the other ones as just like my trashy shoes that I just leave because I knew that I was going to work with the farmer over the summer. But so my friend who was like putting the boxes onto the pallets nicely, he has like boots and he's like, hey, we should go to this one place because they have like really cheap boots that are actually nice. And so I was like, all right, yeah, we should do that sometime. And so after a while, he's like, "Oh, you haven't got them yet?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, let's just go after work." All right, because I have a terrible memory and I have a bad time remembering stuff, except for dumb stuff like this. But so we went to the place and we looked at the boots, and there was no boots. Like we just sat there for like 20 minutes or so, maybe even longer, looking at the boots, and they didn't have a giant selection, but none of the boots would fit except for one pair that was like black boots, and we both decided that made me look like an e-girl because I don't have uh like big pants that would go over the not pants, big jeans that would go over the boots, which would make them look like just black work boots. So we had gone, just walked around the store for a bit, and then went and got food. That's the end of the story. Nothing crazy happened, Obviously, we just went to go get me boots. So nothing crazy is likely to happen. The end of the video. So I guess I'll just leave the rest of this game in, which you can watch if you want to. So yeah, I'll try to make more videos. That's pretty much it. So I guess just enjoy.